Welcome back to the Bitfinex live stream. I'm your host, Ricardo Martinez. We're broadcasting live from the Plan B Forum in El Salvador, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Rogzy from the Plan B Network. Rogzy, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, man. So I met you for the first time in El Salvador in 2022 at Adopting Bitcoin, and now you're back in El Salvador. Have you been back in between, or is this your first time back?
No, I've been here many times because basically since we met, I've been trying to do more education here locally, and thanks to Adopting, thanks to a lot of partners, including actually Bitfinex back in the days, I've been able to do more education, more programs with the government. So I had to come back at least 5 times since then to try to bootstrap a program in the high school system, try to do education locally, and also coming back for Adopting every year.
Okay, cool. So you're not living here, you just spend a lot of time here.
Yeah, exactly. I've thought about moving, but it's a big step, not ready to take it. So I come back twice a year, more or less, for a couple of weeks, ranging from like 10 days to 2-3 weeks.
Nice. Explain what your work is with Plan B.
So I'm the co-founder of Plan B Network. We basically do Bitcoin education worldwide for the masses and anyone that wants to learn, from corporation to government. We have online free classes in multiple languages, ready to be taught. We have support for local community that want to bootstrap like a Bitcoin ecosystem. And we also do a physical class for developers and business-oriented person in Lugano and here in El Salvador.
That's amazing. When I was in Lugano, one of your colleagues at the Plan B Network was showing me the website and all the different languages and how it's like an open source project where anybody can like contribute and like correct the translations and all that and earn Satoshis, which I thought was super innovative and cool. How has this conference been here in El Salvador for you?
Really good. It's actually a great venue. It's the first time we do Plan B Forum here in El Salvador. It's the first time there is a conference in that museum, the Museum of Art of El Salvador, and it's really cool. It's really high quality, I find, and there's a lot of Salvadorian. I'm quite surprised by the number of local person compared to more international conferences. I think we sold around 2,500 tickets, so it's one of the biggest one that has been here. So congrats to the team, and the panels are nice. It's hot, as always, in that country, but it's good, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Here in El Salvador, there's a bunch of education initiatives around Bitcoin. There's like Torgos Dev and Cubo Plus that are like teaching more technical knowledge to people that want to learn to be developers. There's Mi Primer Bitcoin that's working like with the schools here to develop a curriculum. And then there's also Plan B Network. How closely do you work with these other educational organizations here in El Salvador?
So pretty closely, basically, 2 of them were kind of the founder of them. So Non-Nation, that is setting up lightning nodes in every school and teaching the youth how to understand Bitcoin from a technical point of view, is an initiative we've started here. It's run by Pupusa's G today, and it's running. The pilot is over, and now we're going to do 50 schools this year, so that's really excited.
50?
And then, 50.
Wow.
We're setting up like Start 9, non-miners in the school, learning the kids what are the lightning channels, elliptic curve, stuff like that. So for that one, like we fully support the local team here. They do an amazing job, and we hope this year it's going to go as well. Cuba Plus was also a big part of Plan B. The first Cuba Plus, we've participated as teachers and media company and organizers with Fogger Venture. And now this year there was the Plan B Tech School, which was in collaboration with Kubo. Kubo was the local team, let's say. They followed the classes online. They had physical seminars every week to do a recap of what they learned every week. That lasted for 3 months. And then last week, we flew students from all over the world to join the Salvadorian team. They did 1 week of intensive dev classes, and from there, the class ended up with the graduation at the National Palace with Stacey Harbour and Giacomo giving the diploma to the best new generation of students here. And then some of them joined to do an hackathon with Chunky too. So we are really close to the Salvadorian movement to do education with programs that we co-develop or programs that are outside. For example, Berlin, the city of Berlin and the community of Berlin, we've supported them for their local meetups and conferences, stuff like that. So whenever we see that there's a need, we try to help whenever possible.
That's amazing. With this program that you just completed, how many students were able to participate in it?
So we started with around 150 students, almost 70 from El Salvador, so half of it. We broke it down basically to only the 21st, 21, 22 best students. We did that through assignment provided by a corporation like Galoy, Breeze, BTP Server, etc. So companies from here, Chunky, K12, companies from here and from abroad. The students had to do assignment. The mentors then selected the best teams, and those students came here. So that was 21 students who did then the physical bootcamp here. So 21 got the physical certificate because they got the extra miles, and the other students had to pass an exam online and got a virtual certificate.
That's amazing. And with these companies that helped like sponsor or participate in the program, like, are they offering employment to these students like once they complete?
No, exactly. That is the whole point. Right now it's just finished, and basically we are collecting CVs information from our students, and we want to place them. Actually, one student already joined Bitfinex as a front-end developer. So
oh, wow.
We're really excited. And then another one got already hired by I don't want to say this, like I think it's Galoy. And so then the other students will be having like interviewed, and then we try to match them with those companies from the Tether universe, the Fogger universe, and the partners of Plan B Network. What we try to do is really take talented developer or business person, bring them the Bitcoin knowledge, and then try to get them working in the industry they love, which is Bitcoin.
That's amazing, man. That's super cool that you guys are helping people like make those kind of connections. There's a lot of Bitcoin companies here in El Salvador that have come here like from abroad and like opened offices and stuff like that. Is there like a huge demand for developers and like, you know, technical people to work at these companies, and there's just not enough of them?
Absolutely. The issue is that there is not enough talented Salvadorian developers yet to fill up the demand. It's a very long process to train the next generation of software engineer, especially when we're talking about protocol level development. Bitcoin is not just a website, right? It's way more complex. So the Bitcoin companies, they want the best, and it's obviously very hard to find them, and there's a lot of competition from abroad. So the Bitcoin companies that move to El Salvador will hire worldwide, even though they would want to hire more Salvadorian. More often than not, they just do not find the talent, and the scarce talent get immediately hired. For example, the front dev of Bitfinex that got hired is Salvadorian, but that's just one, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we compare to the number of companies coming here,
there's a lot of them.
Like we should be teaching and not creating, but like mentoring hundreds of dev, so a couple of them could become top one in the world and join a very advanced company.
Are you guys working at all with any of the universities here to kind of like get this technical training like into the universities themselves?
Yeah, we work with Don Bosco University mostly. They were really helpful for the first Cuba Plus, providing a lot of students. They did it again this year. We don't have yet like a full master program running there, but we do have a lot of communication for their students to join our program, and they're very flexible to help those students to manage both times. And also a lot of the students we taught then help us here organize that event, help us organize the next class, and stay in the Plan B family, the Cuba Plus family, how we call it. So yeah, mostly Don Bosco.
Sounds like you've been amazingly busy, man, since the last time we talked. What can people expect from Plan B in 2025?
We want to continue to provide more classes. The classes are free and open source in multiple languages. Right now we have 22 courses. We want to move to at least 40, so double, or maybe we can opt for 50. We want to continue helping communities around the world get better and get bigger. Hopefully improve once more our yearly program, the B School and the Tech School, get more students at the entry to get more talented at the end. And continue to support Bitcoin ecosystem, Bitcoin El Salvador, and Bitcoin company in general.
How many languages are you offering the Plan B educational courses on the website in?
Right now, I think we have 16. Most of the main one of Europe, then China, Russian. Yeah, basically all of the one you can think of, Arabic. Um, so the mainstream one are here, but we are adding one new language every 2 to 3 weeks. So the goal for next year is gonna be to hit at least same 50 to 100 language. For that, we need the help of the community to help translate, basically. We can run all the AI model we want. We can batch translate everything from video to text to image. Everything is on the GitHub repo, so it's open source to be really exploited. But at the end, we need human verification. So basically, when we want to start like a new language, for example, let's say, for example, like Finland, for example, which is more niche, we need people from Finland to double check. So we're doing like Hindu right now for India. So it's in the process of being reviewed. Once we have enough level of quality, we release the language and we go full on to support that country.
Since you guys operate like on a global level and you have like people taking your courses from all over the world, like which region excites you the most in terms of Bitcoin education?
Sadly, it's not going to be El Salvador. We've been doing it for 4 years here or 3 years. And it is excited where we are going, but the beginning, the bricks have been built, right? So now El Salvador is about continuing the good work and increasing the numbers. Where I do see a lot of new interest is Africa mostly and Asia. Asia, we started a collaboration with Taipei University in Taiwan. We see demand from Philippines, Japan. So they are really getting more into Bitcoin and Lightning and that aspect more than the crypto market. And Africa has always been eager to jump on that. They are the one that gets it the fastest because they have already been using so many currencies. When you go to any country in Africa, actually, they use multiple currency on a daily basis because their currency are probably pretty bad. And then they're using like the franc CFA, which is also pretty terrible and managed by, sadly, my government and my central bank, the French one. And so they want to use a dollar. So they already use USDT, basically. And they want to get into Bitcoin, and they already use like Euro and franc CFA. So they are super eager to understand, like they understand immediately the benefits of using Bitcoin, and so they want to learn.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for the P2P market, Latin America and Africa are like the two biggest, but Africa is like much bigger than Latin America as far as like peer-to-peer Bitcoin trading goes.
Absolutely, and even like demographically speaking, like Africa has so much growth to come. The population is very young. I think the average is like 27, if I don't say something like stupid.
Yeah.
So when you get like 1 billion people or a bit more, 1.2 billion that have like around 30 years old, they immediately get the need for that new technology and they adopt it at the way higher rate than anyone else. So we're gonna try to support them more this year, and it's gonna be challenging because it's a different market we don't know that well. There's a lot of local language, a different way to teach it, different software and technology too. Everyone has a smartphone, they don't have laptops, so we really have to adapt. They will do peer-to-peer exchange way more than fully regulated one. The regulation is very fragmented. I'm sure Bitfinex knows that, so you need to work with local partners. So it's a lot of challenge, but it's exciting.
The access to financial services is like not there as well.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like people in Africa are using Bitcoin out of necessity rather than choice. Like that, I think that's kind of what sets apart like emerging economies and like Europe or the US or Canada, like where people have access to financial services. Like Bitcoin's more of like not really a need, it's like a choice, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like in Africa, it's like a need. Like they need to be able to transact and they're not able to.
But that's also why they get it faster, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a need. The question is not like, should I do it? It's like, okay, I'm going to do it. How do I do it? And then once they do it, they're like, okay, I'm going to understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
While in Europe, they will be questioning. They will just save. They will not use. They will not spend. It's completely different. I think Africa is way more close to the mentality area in El Salvador, where they understand the benefit of remittancy, they understand the need for digitalization, and for saving, because it's used there.
Yeah, cool. Well, Rogzy, we're going to bring the interview to a close. Is there any final words you want to say to the audience before we close out?
No, keep curious, keep learning, keep studying Bitcoin. It's pretty interesting technology. There's still a lot of things moving on. Lightning is 6 years old, but it's just the beginning. And even though maybe El Salvador may not have it as the contender, it doesn't change anything to what we will be doing here. At the end of the day, it's the people that adopt the technology more than the states. So as long as the plebs see an interest and a need into Bitcoin and Lightning technology, it's going to continue to grow. And that's cool. Do peer-to-peer, and let's go.
Amazing. One last thing. If people want to take the classes, if they want to start learning about Bitcoin, how can they do so?
Sure, you just go on planb.network. Planb.network. You will have all the classes for free. You just pick your language if you want, and then you follow the class, do the quizzes, do the exam, get the certificates, and slowly by slowly follow us on the socials, join our seminars that we do regularly, and maybe I will see you at some of our conference.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing the interview, man.
Thanks you, dude.
Yeah.